Hello everyone, my name is Baloo and this is my sketchbook. The one sketchbook that I'm going to attempt and fill fully in one single day. That's right, I was thinking for a long time, is it possible that to fill one sketchbook in one single day? Can one man, one bear or one human manage this task? Well, today we're about to find that out. The whole catch was to not fill the sketchbook with just scribbles and random stuff, but to dedicate that whole sketchbook to one single thing. And you know what theme that was? Portrait. I know that trying an attempt to fill one sketchbook entirely in one day is already a huge challenge, and dedicating to portraits is even a harder challenge. But come on, why are we here to challenge ourselves and not to just go on easy ride, right? So let me explain how this challenge is going to work. We have one sketchbook and we have one day, that is 90 pages in 24 hours. I couldn't draw for 24 hours, so I had to pick like 10 or to 11 hours to dedicate to this project. From those 10 to 11 hours, I picked 1 hour that I could spend on rest and eating, and I was left with 9 and 10 hours. I took 10 hours because 10 hours was easy to calculate all the pages. That meant I have 90 pages to fill in 10 hours. That means 10 pages per hour. That is 60 minutes as well, and that meant I have one page to be done in 6 minutes. That means one portrait in 6 minutes. The tools that I used were simple and easy. First, I also wanted to use pencil, Sharpie and brush pen to make it as diverse as I could, and that was the whole plan, or I should say the whole battle plan of today's sketchbook challenge. And with that said, I think this intro is already far too long and I'm kinda excited to dive into this challenge, so let us begin our day's challenge and fill this sketchbook in one single day. Roll the credits. Yeah. Wait, no, don't click off. I didn't attribute you. I did the challenge. I promise. I did the challenge. I have a proof. But first, let me explain. I showed you one type of sketchbook, the black sketchbook, in the intro, but I did not end up using that sketchbook in the final process, because here's the reason. I was using that sketchbook for, I don't know, a couple months, and after that I switched to this sketchbook. So when I switched, I actually decided to keep on using this sketchbook more because it had much more heavier papers, and I liked the texture and I liked how pencils and markers and brushes, inks were working on that paper. So I ended up switching up for the challenge the sketchbooks. I ended up switching sketchbook for the challenge. Yeah, that's my better sentence. I ended up switching sketchbook for the challenge, but I still did it. Well, actually, let's talk about what I did for the challenge, okay? So, the challenge. Yeah, now you can see that I'm actually doing this challenge, and yes, okay, let's be honest, I did not end up finishing the sketchbook in one day. Let's talk about that. I had this plan. I had everything like planned and sorted out, that I had to finish 9 pages in 1 hour to finish 90 pages in 10 hours. So I started the challenge at 10 or 11 a.m. I don't remember actually the exact time, but I warmed up a bit for like half an hour, 40 minutes. I warmed up first and then jumped into sketching in the sketchbook. I started sketching in the black one first. I did like a couple sketches for like hour or so, maybe 40 minutes. I ended up doing 3 sketches and I hated it. I hated all of them. I got frustrated. I wasn't doing as well as I thought I would, and I was about to give up. after 40 minutes of doing that challenge, I was about to give up. And as much as it's kind of cringy for me to say that, I did give up for some time. I went, had lunch, I took a shower, I cleared my thoughts, and you know what? I thought that, hey, I want to do this challenge. I want to have something to show you, and I want something to talk about. So what that it won't be a grandiose and something spectacular as the sketches for the challenge. So what that I may not do those portraits so beautifully as some of those that I take my time for them. No one cares. It was just a challenge that I wanted to see if I could do. So like, why should I care if the sketches are not beautiful and great and like, I don't know, atelier or gallery worthy? No one cared. I should not have cared that much. So with that thought in mind, I just stood up and continued sketching for next 7 hours. I think for 7 hours I was sketching. I was doing my best that I could in the time that I had to sketch for one portrait in 6 minutes. And see, here was the problem. Not that I could not manage to do each portrait in 6 minutes. I could, but the problem is that I was getting really attached to each and every portrait, and I was trying to make every portrait as looking good as good as I could. And even though I pushed myself and I continued sketching for 7 hours non-stop, I did some sketchings. You see some sketches that I did. I still was not as happy with the result as I wanted. I finished the day. I did not end up finishing one sketchbook in a day, though I did half. I managed to do half of the sketchbook in probably 9 hours. That meant if I continued that for 9 hours. So technically speaking, if a day consists of 24 hours and I say I want to finish sketchbook in 24 hours, I can finish the whole sketchbook in 24 hours, provided that I can finish half the sketchbook. And keep in mind that I did both sides. I didn't do just one side of the paper. I did both sides. So provided this information, I can actually finish. Anyone can actually finish a sketchbook in 24 hours. The problem was that I was taking too long with the sketches. I had the plan to take only 6 minutes, but I think I had like 8 minutes for the single sketch, and I was not doing that as I have planned. The problem is that my skill level is still not high enough to sketch likely and the way that I want anything that I can see. And I can say that because I did this challenge and I tried myself, I tested myself, and even though that I could not finish the whole sketchbook, I did a lot of pages. And I now see that I have something to work on, and that is to work more on speed sketching and observing what I sketch even better than I used to until today or 2 days ago when I did the challenge. Even though, as I said, I did not manage to finish the sketchbook, this challenge was still something I first was excited for, and second I enjoyed doing. Yes, it was frustrating at the first, but as soon as I cleared my head and took the saddles in my hands and continued to ride for the glory, even though I didn't get the glory, I actually consider the lesson that I got from this challenge to be the treasure or the quest fulfillment item or reward I was seeking for. And that means that this challenge is not finished, and that means that sometime in the future I still gonna do this. I am still going to do this. I'm still going to do. Interesting. I'm still gonna do. I will still attempt to do one sketchbook in a day challenge. I don't know when, maybe in a couple months. I want to practice more so my sketching speed is much better than it is right now, so I don't have to spend my time on thinking what to do rather than just doing. There was one sketch in particular that I really liked because I just went for it. I was not trying to do like, I want to make this sketch look exactly as one in the portrait. No, I just went for the feeling. I just let my hand loose. That's the thing I did. I just let my hand loose, and it was probably the best sketch I did for like the whole challenge. Maybe another thing that I'm taking out from this challenge is that I got attached to my sketchbooks even more. I enjoy sketching in the sketchbooks even more. I have not drawn anything digitally for like 2 or 3 weeks now, or maybe 2 weeks, but 3 weeks, and I don't see a problem actually. I really like sketching in my sketchbook. I'm also attempting to go back to watercolors and maybe also start using gouache for some color practices and coloring exercises. And I just really love watercolors. So yeah, I think being able to do those kind of challenges is good because you get more attached to the sketchbooks and you get in the habit of sketching in the sketchbooks. Those draw everyday challenge for 1 month are actually really good for letting you understand how important it is to sketch in sketchbook, because it's a sketchbook, no one has to see it. Even though you can see a couple of pages from it, doesn't mean that doesn't mean that I will show everything and I have to show everything. I'll show what I want. If I want to show all my sketchbook to like people, I will do sketchbook tour, as I did one already. And I don't know, I think people actually underestimate how important sketchbooks are in just drawing digitally. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you can draw or sketch in whatever medium you want, is it the traditional or digital, but I don't know, there's something beautiful and something interesting about sketching in your sketchbook. It's like you and someone close to you are sitting alone and just talking and changing your opinions with each other, and that's kind of fun actually. But with that said, I will encourage you to try. There's a maybe not this challenge, maybe not finish your sketchbook in 1 day challenge, maybe finish your sketchbook in 1 day. Who knows, maybe you can do better than me. Maybe you can finish not 30 pages, but maybe you can finish 40, 35, 31, maybe 60, I don't know, 90, who knows. I do encourage you to try out, I do encourage you to try out different challenges for your sketchbook. Maybe try to draw in your sketchbook for 1 hour for like a month, every day for a month. Maybe try, I don't know, finish a sketchbook in 2 weeks and take the sketchbook that you have not finished or drawn in for like so long and just try to do this challenge. It's really fulfilling when you actually take on this challenge and finish it. And even if you don't finish it, try to finish it and see what you did. Try anything. Try sketching for 1 week straight. Don't stop. I mean, draw every day for the week, not 24/7. Actually, interesting challenge I hear. Imagine sketching for 7 days non-stop and not even for sleep break. That's impossible. No, I don't believe that anyone can actually draw for 24 hours for 7 days without stopping and any breaks. Surprise me. Anyway, I encourage you, start using your sketchbooks, start using them as much as you can. If you are able to go outside for maybe, I don't know, small walks, like half-an-hour walks, because staying inside is kind of like ritual nowadays, but you can go outside and maybe walk for half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Take your sketchbook with you and sketch something you see outside. Sketch your bench or a tree, or maybe quickly sketch some people who may be in the line or the supermarket or something like that. Draw in your kitchen, draw in your bed, draw in your toilet while you're taking poop, because you at least have 10 minutes to draw something, and 10 minutes is quite a lot, and I will prove that to you. In short, just try to be more friendly towards your sketchbooks. Try to pay enough attention that they deserve, because you might not notice, but when you draw and finish the sketchbook, it's like a book you finish. It's like a story that you finished, and every time you go from last page to first page, you will see the huge improvement, and you will see how much you actually managed to do. Even when you are like in the sketchbook and you see the first sketch you did and compare it to the, I don't know, 10th or 30th or the last sketch in that sketchbook, you see that there's a huge improvement. It might be like small for someone, but for you that you spend some hours, and it's like a game, you know, you may not do well for like first 1 hour and 2 hours in a game, and you might die and go again on that level. But when you finish that game and you remember, oh my god, I struggled so much on the first level, and here I am finishing the game and beating the last boss. It's like that. Compare your studies and your sketches in the sketchbook. Compare your sketchbook with the games. You are not going to the game and like, oh, I died twice, okay, I'm not gonna play anymore. Use that mentality for sketchbooks and use that mentality on drawings, and I promise you, you will go through a lot of sketches without even thinking, and you will enjoy it even more. Make it fun for yourself and make it as a game, and I promise you, you will enjoy every single moment of sketching. And with that said, I will I will say goodbye. I wanted to say something else, but I forgot the words. Farewell, my friends, and don't forget, even though that this video is about to end and you will not hear me for at least 1 month, 1 week, only 1 week, what am I saying? Only for 1 week. Don't forget, you know what's not said? Subscribing is not said. It does not bring you tears, but it will bring you joy. It will bring me joy. You know what else is not said? It's liking and commenting on this video, because it makes me happy. It may help you, and when you write something in the comments, maybe you will empty your emotions and feel much better, and it helps the algorithm, something we all talk about. And with that said, and with farewells, I'll say one last word. Goodbye.